He loves having new experience, cycling, yoga, and coffee. In fact, he provides our coffee here every week. His wife Emily has put up with him for 27 years. One of his favorite quotes is by Mark Twain: "Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness." Please welcome James for our community moment.
Please tell me, because my wife says I mumble a lot. So she's like, "What? What'd you say?" Anyway, the topic, I don't know if I'm super knowledgeable about it, but I'm passionate about traveling with my kids. So I made a few notes, and I hate public speaking to sing. Angie and I have always loved to travel. And after we got married, we decided to make it a priority with our children. And a lot of times we get the reaction from people, "Well, why are you bothering taking them all these places when they're just not remembering it?" I'd like to share with you today some of the things that I feel like that my kids have learned through travel. And just going to preface that, it can be anything. Travel to Zion, travel to California, the East Coast, Europe, Asia, South America, wherever. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about all types of travel experiences. As we've proven, travel will contribute to the brain development of a young child by increasing the number of neural connections, the same way that when we read to our children. Okay, you're stimulating those pathways at a very early age. So what we did is, I was a traveler, we planned that, and you was a reader. So our kids got double dose of that. When we were planning vacations, we just assumed that the kids would come with us. There was not a given. Unless, of course, it was some other than an anniversary trip or something like that. But to be honest, my wife has a lot more fun when the kids are with us than when she's with me and her. Because otherwise she spends the whole time worrying about the kids. So she's better to have them with us. So we started, some of the first things that we started doing, for example, our first trip to Disneyland after we got here after middle school. Taking the kids overseas. We would involve the kids in the decision-making process of how the trip would play out. They were involved in the saving process and what their expectations would be for that particular trip, and then also what they would probably have to do without so that we could take the upcoming trip. One of the first things we did with the kids, we only had two at the time, we went and bought this really cool glass jar of Caribbean imports. It's really tall, my God, it's big, and really narrow, so it would fill up quickly. So anytime the kids had change, I had change, Mom had change, we put it in, and then we could watch it fill up quickly, and then Andrew would go to the bank and say, "Look at all this money that we have now for our trip." So that's one way the kids are going to get to see how they can make a difference, we get pennies and things like that. As the kids got older, we would make goals for trips. We would always make on charts, and so we'd have graphs in the hallway showing where our saving status was, how far we were from reaching the goal. And the kids would see it every day as they walked by to the bathroom. Then once the goal was met, what else did we want to do? Was there a particular restaurant we wanted to go to, a great hotel, do another type of activity, and what that would cost, and where we go, the kids would prioritize what those activities would be. Also, I think the kids, what we try to instill in the kids is that it's not just the destination that's the important part, but it's also getting there. When the kids were younger, we did a vacation fair. We would oftentimes visit the plane or the car during rest stops. And the vacation ferry would leave things in the children's seats, candies, activities dealing with where we were going, games that we would play. Let's see, for example, we learned that plane travel alphabet game in France is pretty hard to find a J. You get your Q's and X's are all over the place. So just things like that. Also, I think another thing that I think for me as a dad, I thought was really important for kids to learn, is that things don't always go as planned. And then when they don't go as planned, how are you going to deal with it? Learning patience and being adaptable. For example, when the motorhome drive that you just rented breaks down, and you spend the entire day at a laundromat waiting for it to be fixed instead of hiking somewhere in the Olympic Peninsula. You have to give that day up. Or it's you show up in London and you figure that you have a hotel reservation and you don't. And so you spend the day trying to find accommodations for your family of six, and so you don't have to spend the night in Hyde Park. But also the positive is that the kids got to experience their first IT. So positive things. Also kind of an experience where you're snowed in at the Denver airport. It's shut down. You have to rent a car and drive to Dallas so that your son can be with his cousins for a spring break. Head to Dallas, roads are closed, end up spending the night behind a Red Cross homeless shelter. Those kind of things build character, especially when your son sleeping next to somebody who has no idea who he is. That's wall-to-wall cross. Those are all very important things. They can happen anywhere. I think that the kids learn how to, they learn their negotiating skills. The two older ones that we have, Campbell, he's about a 8-year difference. So they had to, when it was Campbell's turn and he was 2 or 3 and he wanted to run the day, well, the older two had to negotiate, maneuver what was going to happen. So they learned to problem solve, how to get along. Also, traveling builds confidence. For the first time we went to Disneyland, we gave the kids the map. Here, you find out where we're going to the park. How do we get there? You want to go on this right? Well, how are you going to get there? What time do we need to be there? Those little skills that are fun for them, but not so overwhelming when you're in Disneyland. Also, when you're on the Paris Metro, the DC Metro, the New York subway, and your child is in charge of the day, getting you to where you need to go, and they pick the wrong subway line out of town. By your town and letting the kid figure out that, oh, this is not the direction they're supposed to be going, getting off and figuring out how to get back to where they're supposed to be. It's a skill they can learn in life, and they need life for those things. Also, they're responsible. You forgot to pack your underwear. I'm really sorry. It's going to suck to wash the underwear out there every day. What are you going to do to buy new ones? Being responsible for their stuff, taking ownership. Our family rule was that if you pack it, you carry it. Okay? Except for when the kids were younger, of course, let's see. Using your language skills for the first time in the country. When we took my son Carter, he was 10. You're in France. He'd been studying French for 2 years. So he shoved in the bakery and said, "Get us breakfast." And we stood outside. And he came back with breakfast. So said the lady was very nice to help him out. When you're in a country and your kids are still responsible for planning the meals, and you go to try to find the grocery store. Ooh, can't read the packages. What's it look like? You go up to pictures. What is this? How are we going to make this? Those are kind of fun things for the kids to take responsibility for, and not as a parent. As a parent, let them do that. It builds confidence in them and their problem-solving skills. Also, learning the difference, learning to see the similarities and the differences and appreciating both. When the two older kids see a 2-year-old French child screaming, "S'il te plaît, maman, s'il te plaît," and doing the 2-year-old dead drop, you think, oh, my goodness. It's the exact same, doesn't matter. Or that the kids like to play at the park. Things that they found that were different. Really weird to have pickles, meats, things like that for breakfast. Fish. What? Where's my food? What? I can't go in. I have to have money to go to the bathroom. Those kind of things that they learn to appreciate. Also, traveling with kids, you get to meet people so much easier. People are so much more friendly. They're great conversation starters. When you're, for example, that mom was dragging her child down the street, she rolls her eyes and you don't even speak, I don't speak French, but you roll your eyes like, oh yeah, we know each other. We know what's going on. Okay. Also, one time we were at the subway in Paris, and I had three suitcases, Campbell's, 2 stroller, and we had 30 stair we had to climb. So what happens? French guy and his wife come by, picks up Campbell, picks up the suitcase, heads up the stairs. Okay, we're gonna follow you. It's very, very, very helpful. Okay. So as parents, what do we learn from traveling with our kids other than it's pain? One, creating a stronger bond. Two, we're going to experience a world from a totally different perspective. It's out of our box. Looks out through a child's eyes. Also, we slow down. The first time I traveled with a 2-year-old overseas, my wife prepped me many times about you're not going to be able to see everything you want to do. You're not going to be able to do that. And it was great experience to see from a 2-year-old's perspective. Also, collecting memories and not things. For example, we were one thing was the experience we had that and we could have had anywhere. I was driving the family out in the French countryside. They had these stupid balloons. They rolled down the windows just enough to make it go around in the car like a whirl. It could hit me in the head. I was trying to maneuver a map. The GPS only spoke French, and so I was trying to figure out where I was going. Very frustrating for me, but the kids remember that and just laugh about it all the time. How mad Dad was, and they were having a great time. And like I said, that could have been anywhere. It could.
Now we almost know those like passing tractor.
Yeah, that's it. So, all kinds of things you can have anywhere. Anyway, also experiencing the global community together, I think is very important. And helping your kids understand their place in the world, especially teenagers. They're struggling to find a place where they fit in the world. And what better way to show them the world, okay? Where they can find their place. What I'd like to say that I wouldn't trade any single one of the trips that we took with my family. There are many times that we could have bought a new dining room table, new living room furniture. We could have bought a new car. But the memories that we created are priceless, and they've shaped who we are as a family and for my kids. In closing, I just want to say that in the words of one of my favorite travel gurus, Steve's, happy travels.